Hello everyone, welcome back to Coach Craig Sports. Today is Sunday, March 14th. We're going to be talking some NBA DFS picks on both FanDuel and Draft Kings for today. But before we get started, I'm going to take a quick look back at yesterday's picks, see how they turned out and why they turned out the way that they did. So on the DraftKings side, we had DeLon Wright, $5,500, looking for about 27, 28 points out of him. He got to 29.75, so he was a hit. At shooting guard, we had Norman Powell, $7,300, looking for 36, 37 out of him. He got to 25.75. He was a miss. Definitely a slower day for him overall. At small forward, we went with the cheap guy in Jake Layman. There was some other value that opened up later in the day, so if you were able to pivot off of him to some other value, definitely was something worth doing. But you were looking for about 18 points out of him. He got to 14.75, so he was a miss. But if you played him, he probably didn't kill you with some of the other value that he opened up, especially if you played a guy like Russell Westbrook. Then at power forward, we had Robert Covington, $5,600. Price down spot for him, looking pretty good. And you're looking for about 28. He got 24, so he was a miss. And then at center, we went with Clint Capella, $7,500. Got 48 points out of him, so he was a major hit. Then on the FanDuel side, pretty healthy day on the FanDuel side. Jalen Noel, $3,600. You're looking for about 18 out of him. He got to 21.5, so he was a hit. The one miss on the FanDuel side was Wayne Ellington, $3,900. Thought he'd play a little bit more minutes with Mikhailo gone. He did, but he really just shot the ball. He didn't really do anything else, honestly, so didn't really help him out there. He got to 9.7, so he was a miss. Then I had small forward Doug McDermott, $3,900, looking for 19, 20 points out of him. He got to 32.8. He was a hit. I did mention that Karis LeVert was playing yesterday, and that kind of worried me with Doug McDermott. If you didn't play him, the pivot option for me was Denny Advia for the Washington Wizards. I believe he was exactly the same price. He got over 20 points, so he was a hit as well if you did pivot off to that option as well. Then at power forward, we have Chris Boucher, $6,700, 34.2 points, so he was a hit. He did end up leaving the game a little bit. I believe they said he got stitches above his lip or his eye. I can't remember exactly which one it was, but still a pretty good day for him regardless. And then at center, Karl Anthony Towns, $9,100, looking for 46 out of him. He got to 59, so he was definitely a hit. So pretty good day overall on the FanDuel side. DraftKings was kind of hit or miss. But with that being said, we're going to get into today's games, talk about the injuries that are in play. So first off, we got the early slate. So we got 2 o'clock Eastern game and the 4 o'clock Eastern game. The Grizzlies are the same as they were the last time out. Then for the Thunder, Mikhailo, Baisley, and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, they're all game time decisions. I don't think any of these guys end up playing today. And Al Horford's probably going to rest on the back-to-back. I'm very interested to see who starts for Al Horford, whether it's Isaiah Roby, or maybe Roby starts at the 4 again, or if it's Pokusevski at center, or if it's Moses Brown, who was called up from the G League after dominating down there. I didn't even realize he got called up, but he played yesterday. He played pretty well, actually. Then for Utah, really just Azubuike that's out, so they're pretty much the same as they've been. Warriors all the way healthy, so that's the early slate. Then we got this little island game, and I don't think there's really any contest for this game, which kind of sucks because the 76ers do have decent value here. Unless you're playing the all-day slate, then I think that's the only way you get to this game. I don't know if there's a showdown for this game or not. Definitely look into that, though. So on the Spurs side, we got LaMarcus Aldridge and DeMar DeRozan out once again, so the exact same as the last time out. For the 76ers, obviously, the big news is Joel Embiid's going to be out for a couple weeks now after hurting his knee. Then Ben Simmons could be returning in this game. So just keep an eye out on that one if you're playing that single game slate, if there is one, or if you're playing the all-day slate and you want to touch on some of this value. Then we get to the main slate. And first off, we got the Heat and the Magic. So on the Heat side, Bam Adebayo is still out. Avery Bradley's still out, so nothing new there. For the Magic, pretty much the same as the last time out. Terrence Ross is a game-time decision. We'll see if he plays or not. If he doesn't play, a lot of these guys look a lot better. Michael Carter-Williams, Dwayne Bacon, Chumu Okiki even, and Chasson Randall, who came off the bench playing pretty big minutes last 2 times out. Then we move over to the Cavaliers, and Darius Garland's game time decision looks like he might play in this one. That kind of changes things up a little bit. We did see Kevin Love come back the last game. He was on the minutes restriction of 10 whole minutes last game, so not anybody that I'm interested in playing anytime soon, especially with his minutes limits. For the Hawks, they're exactly the same as we've been looking at lately, so no changes there. Then the Celtics, pretty much all the way healthy except for Langford, who's just been out all year, so no changes there. The Rockets, once again, all these guys are out. They do get Victor Oladipo back, though, so he's a guy that I want to play a lot of today because, honestly, he's the only good player they have. Like, the only guy that probably should be starting on an NBA team, let's put it that way. David Nwaba is a game-time decision. He did play the last game, which is kind of surprising because they said he was going to have surgery on his wrist. Then all of a sudden he started playing. Does make sense to me, but oh well. For Portland, looks about exactly the same. Harry Giles is listed as a game-time decision. I thought I saw he was going to be out again today, but I could be wrong. Then for the Timberwolves, Culliver and McLaughlin, they're both game-time decisions. So if McLaughlin plays, we can't play Noel once again. But if McLaughlin's out, you could definitely play Noel again. I don't think either of these guys end up playing today. I believe they do have a rest day off tomorrow, so might as well give them the extra day off at that. Then for the Clippers, Patrick Beverley's out, and I believe I read that he's going to be out like the next 3 games, not traveling with the team. He's got like a little bit of a knee injury. So Reggie Jackson definitely on play on both sites today. Could give a little bit of a boost up to Paul George and Kawhi Leonard, but probably not too big a boost overall. For the Pelicans, it's just J.J. Redick out once again. And then last but not least, we have Toronto and Chicago. And the Raptors, pretty much the same as they've been. Chris Boucher is listed as a game-time decision after getting them stitches. I think he ends up playing, so no real changes there. If he doesn't play, Aaron Baines definitely gets a bump up. I'm trying to think of who else they even have for a big man. I know they just signed Henry Ellison back up, and he played pretty well towards the end of that game in the blowout, so maybe he's in play today on the DraftKings side. For the Bulls, Garrett Temple's out in this one. We'll see how that changes up. They supposedly are going to start Tomas Satoransky at point guard, and then Kobe White's going to come off the bench. Not sure how their minutes are going to look, so you could take a shot on Satoransky if you want to today. It's obviously that last game in the night, so it gives you some flexibility for some of these later games. Then we'll see Garrett Temple being out if that impacts Denzel Valentine at all. If he plays a little bit more, if he's going to play a little bit more, he's definitely in play. But that's pretty much it for the injuries for today. So we'll get over to DraftKings and talk about my picks over there. So at point guard, we're going with Chasson Randall and $3,400 looking for 17 points out of him. He's been playing big minutes with all these other guys out. If he does that again tonight, he's just going to have to play, whether it's a close game, whether it's a blowout. They just don't have many guards. So definitely a guy that I think has that 20-point upside for sure. Then at shooting guard, we got Victor Oladipo. $8,400. He's priced up pretty decently here. You're looking for about 42 points out of him. I think he can definitely do that. Then at small forward, I got Derrick Jones Jr., $4,200. Price down spot for him. You're looking for 21 points, averaging about 19 on the season. It's a decent matchup for him. His minutes have been down a little bit, but nothing I'm majorly concerned about. At this point in the day, he's a decent value play, though. Then at power forward, Chuma Okeke. 2 days ago when I didn't make a video, Okeke was kind of somebody that I did like on that slate overall when I was just kind of looking through it real briefly. But I think as long as these guys are out and he's going to be playing, you might as well play him because he's going to be getting them minutes. And he's one of them guys that he could spike a big day at any time, but he's also a guy that could probably give you 10 points. So he's either going to give you like 10 or 30. So not the safest guy in the world, but if you're playing in GPP, definitely a guy to look at there. And then at center, we're going right back to Clint Capella today. Only went up $200. So you're really only looking for about 38, 39 out of him, averaging 48.5 on the season. So definitely another good matchup for him. Definitely should pay off, and he's been playing very well lately. But if you go with these 5 guys, you have $22,600 left over, just over $7,500 per player. So you'll have quite a bit of money if you want to spend up for a guy like Damian Lillard or Trae Young or, Jimmy Butler, someone like that, Nikolai Vucevic, whatever you want to do. There's not crazy pay-up options today, but you'll have a little bit more balance built in that respect. Then we're going to get moved over to FanDuel and talk about my picks over there. So on FanDuel, point guard, we got Ricky Rubio. $4,800. You're looking for 24 points out of him, averaging 23 on the season. So he's been getting minutes, with D'Angelo Russell out, with Jordan McLaughlin out. It's pretty safe play, honestly. He played 32 minutes last night, so that's pretty good there. And, he's been playing pretty well. You're looking for 24 points out of him, and he's done that the past 4 games straight. So, a guy that's in the starting lineup, a guy that's a lead ball handler on a team that doesn't have a whole bunch of ball handlers, definitely somebody to consider. Then at shooting guard, we're going with Victor Oladipo over here as well. Looking for about 38, 39 points out of him. Definitely can do it. And like I said, he's the only real player for the Houston Rockets today. So I expect him to get a lot of usage, a lot of shot volume, and everything like that too. Then at small forward, we got Kenyon Martin Jr. And $3,500 minimum price here. You're looking for about 18 points out of him, averaging 15 on the season. But he's been getting bigger minutes lately, and when he gets the minutes, he's definitely gone over 20 points. So he's going to be a pretty safe play there. Then at power forward, is one of the guys that I have a love-hate relationship with, and that's John Collins. Every time I play him, it seems like something goes wrong, but $5,900, priced down quite a bit. You're looking for about 30 out of him, averaging almost 32 on the season. So definitely a good price for him. And then last but not least, Mr. Kelly Olynyk. No Bam Adebayo, been playing pretty well. I know he does go against Nikolai Vucevic in this game, but they don't really have too many other options at center. So he's definitely a guy I'm considering today. Definitely a guy that's been putting up big numbers for that price tag. Then if you go with these 5 guys over on FanDuel, you'll have $33,600 left over. $8,400 per player. So definitely a lot of room to spend up for some players, spend down for some players. There's going to be more value coming out later in the day as the day moves along. As always, I'll be listing all the news and starting lineups down in the comments below, so be sure to check them out as well. Then with that being said, if you guys have any questions at all regarding NBA DFS, especially for today's slate, be sure to leave them down in the comments below and I will answer them as quickly as possible. But if you guys are new to my channel and haven't already done so, please consider subscribing. It definitely helps build the community that we're trying to build here at Coach Craig Sports. That's really one for you, the viewers, helping you guys with your DFS, whether it's NBA or NFL, helping you guys with your fantasy football teams, covering all the different football news this offseason. And then as we move forward into baseball, we're going to be talking some fantasy baseball and some baseball news as well. Then last but not least, if you are a new or current subscriber who is yet to do so, also hit that notification bell down below. It's going to let you know every single time I post up a new video. Like I've been saying, I do daily NBA DFS videos like this. Going to be having some fantasy football content coming out this week as well. But with that being said, that's all I got for today's video. Hopefully you guys all enjoyed. Hopefully you guys all do very well in NBA DFS tonight. Like I said, if you guys have any questions at all, please do not hesitate to ask. Definitely here to help you guys out. And then last but not least, just a special shout out to each and every one of you watching this video. Definitely means a lot to me. Thank you guys for your support and have a great rest of your day.